Hello everybody and welcome back to Not For Broadcast. Their full game is finally released, and that means we can finally continue the campaign. And as you might remember, it ended on an explosive note, literally. Remember, nukes were exploding all over the place, and that's where the newscast just ended. So, without further ado, let's continue. I think it's about been a year, hasn't it, since Update 2 was released. Day 307 on a proportionate response. Oh. The rest of your shift passes in a blur with the same words going around in your head. Operatives working for advanced detonated nuclear explosives. Initial time estimates put to death into millions. Did this really just happen? It did. You pull into the driveway with no memory of the journey home. Hang on, let me actually... Full face cam here. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now you guys can read. The light in the front room is on. Clearly someone else is still awake. The door creaks open into the living room and you find Sam sitting on the sofa staring at the TV. The screen is off and they're clearly lost in thought. You take a seat beside them and put a reassuring hand on their shoulder. They don't look at you, but they do reach up to take your hand and theirs. Now you're closer and you can see Sam's face more clearly. You see a look you'd never seen before. Chris and Susie, they're both. I know. What do we do? What the hell can we do? The bastards killed Chris and Susie and millions of others. All because of their fucking war, which we never asked for. Where there should be tears, there's only fire, pure raw fury. They're manic now. I hate them, Alex. I know you've never been a fan of Advance after this, but after this, they're monsters. I need to know you understand that we can't just be indifferent, that we need to actually do something. And... yeah, I mean... relief spreads all over Sam's face like in a wave, and they collapse against you, clutching tightly. Clearly this was weighing heavily on them. You're not sure you even processed it all fully yet, but at least we get through it together. Yeah, I mean, nuclear war. That's really not good. I mean, yeah. Final farewell. Last week has passed in a blur. A rush of things to do, all immediately forgotten. Your memory clouded by dark fog. 9 days since the so-called Liberation Night and the beginning of the Advance's near future. You weren't the first ones at the church today. You were staggered by the number of people who have come to mourn with you. Everyone here, for the same reason, sharing the same pain, the same sense of loss, is written all over their faces, much as it would be on yours. And we step away from everyone else. Your little girls, Susie, and Chris too, both just gone. Sam has said little since that evening, clearly still in shock. Not that you could blame them, you haven't been much better. Sam appears silent and squeezes your hand tightly, an act of desperation seeking comfort, and you squeeze back. Some small piece of you can't help but wonder, are you partly to blame? These scars will not fade quickly. They're harder than a common story. Aw, yeah. I mean, we did our best to, you know, not be a part of the propaganda machine, so I don't think we should feel too bad about it, right? But then again, our kids are dead, so does it matter? Wow, that's a lot of days. What happened with the war? It's a seemingly ordinary morning, but as you get into work, you find a small crowd gathered in the break room. When you go into to grab your first cup of tea of the day, you can't help but overhear some excited chatter. You didn't hear? Yeah, there's another one gone missing. What's that bring up the total up to now? Oh, I should think over 100 at this point. They won't all have been reported or noticed yet. Sorry, what's going on? An excited young woman turns to you and begins to explain. Another professor went missing from Queensborough University. But all the other disappearances over last year, scientists, doctors, researchers. She pauses before lowering her voice to a whisper. It's clearly disrupt targeting the people speaking out against them. I even heard Advance are struggling to prevent further. A deep familiar voice from behind your traps. What exactly is going on here? The silence takes room as you alter in unison towards the doorway. Bozeman clears his voice before continuing. I told you before, I don't want to hear about these so-called disappearances. Come on now, people. Advance has been very clear that they're nothing to worry about. Okay, yeah. Which means they're not our problem. Unless they start classing cappuccinos as intellectuals, I don't think anyone here has anything to worry about. Let's get back to work. Bozeman holds up a hand to keep you and everyone else. I also have the room. Look, I know you have a habit of doing what you want, but things are different now. Advance runs the show and they made their feelings clear, so now I'm doing the same. Channel 1's official position is that government has things well in hand, nothing more, nothing less. I trust I won't be hearing about this again. He gives you a curt nod before leaving. It seems that for better or worse, public ownership is now in full swing. Yeah, now things are getting much, much worse. Oh, how many days are we going? Whoa. God damn, dude! A spark to light the flames. You're surprised to find Sam in bed next to you when you wake up. They must have gotten very late nights out for drinks from school. Decided to let them sleep and enjoy a lazy Sunday morning. The house quiet, and you decide to bring some breakfast into the living room and watch on the TV while you eat. This is breaking news. Reports are coming in from across the country that large swaths of farmland went up in flames last night as part of what authorities are calling a heinous and well-planned act of terrorism by the group known as the Disrupt. You drop your spoon back into the porridge and turn up the volume. In addition to food stores, which government sources have said would put a strain on the universal menu centers countrywide, a number of CCO and civic buildings were targeted in last night's attack. According to Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, specific prisons and re-education and betterment facilities were raided, and a small selection of problematic and potentially dangerous individuals were forcibly extracted from the lawful custody. You hold your breath, waiting to hear if anyone got hurt. Unfortunately, it appears that CCOs were ill-prepared for an event like this, and Disrupt seems much more effective and well-organized in comparison. While most of the targeted locations were thankfully empty of people, given the lateness of the hour, betterment centers were fully staffed and they came under attack. 17 CCOs and 4 administrative staff lost their lives as a result of brutal actions of Disrupt last night, with countless more injured and many more seriously rushed to the hospital. A few Disrupt members were captured during conflicts, but the vast majority seem to have evaded capture so far. More on the story as it develops. Better turn off the TV. You're interrupted by Charlie walking into the living room, bleary-eyed and with a piece of toast. Anything interesting going on, he gestures to the TV. Mutely, you leave the news on as they cycle through the story again. Charlie watches it in hushed silence. By the end of the broadcast, they're dubbing it the Night of Fire. Everything's gonna be okay, right? I hope so. We'll have to see. I mean, I don't want to lie to the guy. Because, yeah. I don't think everything is gonna be fine. Honestly. Day 912. Oh, man. Stress-free edit in story mode. Maybe I should think about that. Considering it's been like a year since I did this part. Yeah. I really should have practiced. Hindsight. The Uprising. Ooh. A year and a half since the Liberation Night. Yeah.
Alex.
Hey, buddy.
This is Alan James.
Oh, hey.
The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and we need your help. Throughout this broadcast, we're going to ask you to do things that will directly help with this mass protest. I'll be talking to you regularly tonight, and I'll also be hacking in when I can. Please help get our message out. We're on the verge, Alex. You've always been fair and balanced in your approach to us. With your help, we can tip the balance in our favor. If you play our tape at the second break, that's when we think it will have the most impact. It's on your right.
Second break. Well, this? Check. Oh, right. My bad.
dignity,
There we go.
my reputation.
It's all right once you get past the teeth and the problematic tattoo.
I am perfectly capable of messing up my own love life. Sorry about that. David wouldn't get off the phone.
Oh, is David single?
Christ's sake, Colin, stay out of it.
Yeah, Colin stayed out.
I'm the expert at romance. Ask me ex-wives.
Please don't set me up with your brother. That's 10 seconds, everybody. You're not a type, though.
Oh, I forgot how to do this, by the way.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News, broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolfe. Our top stories tonight: ashes to ashes. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted attacks across the territories. The coordinated action, dubbed the Night of Fire by commentators, was seen as an attempt to subvert the supply chain, but there may have been more to it. After a roadside IED toppled the convoy, prisoners, including Portia Hamilton-Mann, the daughter of the former Prime Minister, were freed and have subsequently vanished. The escapees are presumed to have fled the territories. Here at Channel 1, we say good riddance to bad rubbish. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Jack Tractor Pants, spokesman for the menu centres, said today that while they can guarantee the contents of every box is nutritious, the actual quality of the meals you cook depends on whether you have a touch of Chef Jordan Rankley or the culinary skills of a professional footballer. If I were a rich man, problems in territories 11, 17 and 22 today as striking bosses attempted to undermine their new economies. With seemingly no awareness of irony, the former CEOs and MDs have come together to form the Wealth Creators Union, with demands including a return to 150%
I don't know what the traffic
bonuses,
sources in was.
private jets and mandatory grovelling zones. In an annoying show of petulance, the former elites drove their luxury vehicles at 10 miles per hour up and down the motorways of their respective territories. The coordinated protest of elites inconvenienced several 100,000 of their employees. Some fun now. Signs of ever more resistance to Advance's radical policies today, as popular resistance movement Disrupt extended their reach further across the territories. The organisation's emblem appeared in every major city across the territories last night in a well-coordinated publicity stunt,
I'm gonna show
which
the
has seen them
panda.
dominate the headlines. While it's beyond debate that Disrupt's membership is growing at a rapid pace, not everyone seems to be as energetic about it as spokesperson Alan James would have us believe. Especially not this resident of Grottingberg Zoo in Territory 6, who seems remarkably unenthused about global politics. And climaxes tonight for 3 stories we've been following. An iron's fist in a velvet glove. Disaster at the High Court today as Rivington's Fist loses their court battle against local residents. Regular viewers will remember that after a cocktail of dangerous explosives was used to accelerate the MOOBS project last year, 3 nature reserves, an ancient burial ground and the entire town of Calamity fell into the resultant hole. CEO Sophia Rimington, seen here leaving the High Court after the judge's damning verdict, is expected to resign before the end of the day. I guess you could say a boss lady go boom boom. A disappointing ending to an explosive time for the youngest female CEO in history. Nerd pocalypse. It seems the story of the stranded scientists of Dante's Taint came to an end today with the final chapter written in blood.
Aww.
There don't seem to be any survivors in the remote cave system after a violent conflict broke out about the correct syntax of a binomial equation. Abandoned by their colleagues on the surface, denied supplies by a world which moved on without them, we have to ask ourselves who's to blame for this crisis? And where did they get those swords from?
That's a good question.
Teary-eyed, hapless entrepreneur Johnny Handsleeves has sold a priceless collectible at auction today. The one-of-a-kind piece was created after an accident at his high-tech bottling plant. Collector Ron Jobbins, who bought the work, said he intended to add it to his collection of historically
Is that a real
significant
fucking eyeball in there?
nails. He says he keeps it at the back of the fridge because it keeps giving him funny looks. All that, plus we'll be taking a trip to Dangly Parks for the notice board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh god, this.
Take back
Soon it will be time for you to help us again. Come out of your houses, block the traffic, bring the capital to a standstill. I've met so many of you in my travels up and down territory when you always ask the same question. How can I help? Well, this is how. And as for when, you'll know. Keep watching.
But first, 500 days after the loss of a fine leader and a great man, the
Let me come in.
program is dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what was...
I'll tell you what, I'm getting sick and tired of this. Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now there's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick, we're
Of
live.
course, can't say that, can I, Francis? No, not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days.
There.
Oh, she's lost it, mate. She's completely off the rocker. I heard from an aide that... Hello, Megan, you joined me here live from the what? Oh.
Seems like we've lost some signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking ceremony just as soon as we can get Patrick back.
I don't think we're getting him back
Sorry,
anymore.
I think the memorial gardens are going to be gorgeous. I've had a sneak peek at the designs and Alana Marsh has done a fabulous job. Oh, okay, all right, it seems like we have got the signal back. We can now go live to Patrick Bannon in Parliament Park. Patrick.
Thank you, Megan. I'm Patrick Bannon, and we are
Dude, really?
live here. Apologies for the technical difficulties there, but any moment now, Julia Salisbury will step out on stage behind me.
Alex, Bozeman
and
here.
dedicate
The boys in
gardens to
editing
a
have just
great
informed me that the
departed
eulogy footage
leader,
isn't fully cut
Peter
together yet.
Clement.
You're going to have to do it on the fly.
The
For goodness sake, make sure you make him look
been
good.
slowly gathering since this afternoon.
This is
And
Alan.
the atmosphere
You
here
can
has
undermine
been
them here and help us win hearts and minds.
despite
Make him look bad, Alex.
How?
Really bad.
And it seems like the ceremony is getting underway. Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance, to begin her address.
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends. 500 days ago, all of our lives changed irrevocably. Still reeling from the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night, another great loss befell the people of these newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear friend, and a hero. Peter Clement.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That makes sense.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rotherham, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television. First moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
Okay, there we go. I was confused which one is it.
The Job first hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series, winning multiple awards, and charming audiences.
I think it kind of switches, yeah.
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are. Not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them. Courage, integrity, empathy,
What's he
and
yelling at?
hard bloody graft.
Across a career spanning 3 decades, Peter Clement was known for shows including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, late night chat show PT, which at its peak drew millions of viewers.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me, he once told me he had
Look at that crazy
stolen
sign.
dinners. He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character that he chose to share with us his mistakes alongside his achievements, his faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these united territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5 million swear words during his career. though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million F-bombs alone.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night.
Oh, that's a good shot. I'm glad I got that.
But his eyes still twinkled with that familiar joy for life, that spark of wit and wisdom.
Yeah, there's so much wisdom there.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly 20 years ago. Moments before I was supposed to give a speech. Not unlike this one, actually. Only I'd spilt coffee all down myself. And I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked. And from behind me, I heard, "Christ, pet, you've either pissed your kecks or sprung a leak, but either way, you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind, compassionate, sensitive.
Oh yeah, that sensitivity there.
A natural leader, but mostly a good man. This glorious nation of ours, so beautiful and new, this shining beacon.
What?
Of
Thank you, Alex.
equality and
There'll be another
humanity.
opportunity to steer public perception soon. It's really starting. You'll know when.
His accomplishments, the future he forged, the boundaries he pushed. To me, he'll always be the man in his pants cheering on a stranger at the back of the conference. It is my great honour to give to you the Peter Clement Memorial Garden. Shall we see if we can get a countdown going? Everyone with me? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Boom.
Now, Alex, control the message.
Mom, we have to get you to safety. Come with us.
I'm not leaving, I can't. You two, come with me. Don't panic. Help us here.
You're hurting me!
Well, stop resisting then. Stop resisting and we'll let you up.
I'm not resisting! Ah!
What are you doing?
I'm not resisting! You're stop!
What?
I'm not resisting!
Prime Minister, and if I give you an
Turn the camera off. National Night News. You have the right to be here.
Understand!
I said turn the fucking camera off. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear anything.
Yes.
Just stay with me. No, news.
Well, then you can consider this payback. Salisbury's still here. Julia Salisbury!
Thank you, both are arrested.
You are guilty of the murder of more than 10 million people. Justice demands a response.
Haven't you done enough? Look around you. This is what your precious freedom looks like, is it? Oh, God, no.
Take to the streets. The time has come. Stop fires. Break windows. Draw them out. They can't stop us all. Resist. Distract.
Lower your weapons. This is a kill. Lower your weapons.
Come on, get out there. No. What are you doing? Come on.
Turn that off, Peter. I said, please turn that off.
Is this not enough? You've just seen them execute unarmed civilians. People like you and me. So why are you watching this? Why are you not in the streets with us tonight? What will it take for you to get up and be a part of this? March on team headquarters, storm the building, demand elections, demand answers. Be what you're born to be, the once and future free.
Nice.
Does anyone know if everyone's safe? Are the crew okay? Fine.
Oh shit. Yeah, I forget. There's so much going on!
You're doing great.
Different tonight.
This is the big one.
Great. So there's a revolution happening outside, and we're off to the
Say now,
parts.
I think we've seen crazy. Have you seen Crazy
We
Neil?
get set for the next sequence.
Times 2! Buy a fork, get a knife! Get a knife!
Buy a fork, get a knife.
Forks! Knives! We don't have spoons.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Seal of a deal. We
I
got
mean, that's a
sticks.
deal breaker,
We got
guys.
sticks that do tricks. We got an evil.
But you don't have
This
spoons.
is my young
Alex,
Yeah.
during this next section, a cameraman working in the newsroom is one of us.
Okay.
He's going to get a coded location out.
What?
Check which camera he's on. But if we find out, I'll let you know. Just keep your eyes out for the fist and try and keep it on the ear for at least 5 seconds. Our operatives will do the rest.
I'll try.
sticks. We've got empty toilet.
But you're not gonna really give me a whole lot of things to go on there, man. I gotta be noticing a fist.
In a bag. We'll beat you with the fucking sticks if you come down with no money.
I've got a broken leg. I've got
This dude.
a broken ball. It's got no air in it. Oh god, I'm broken.
Buy sticks.
Recently, we had
You heard him, guys. Buy sticks.
to the parking lot and take one of our empty.
I think that's the same actor.
Where is
Is
he
it?
giving deals to animals?
Crazy Neil with a begging appeal because there's been no deal for Neil and have a crazy
10 seconds,
time.
everybody.
A crazy Neil going out of business deal.
I know
A
where we
deal.
should go with this.
Going in 5,
Oh, shit.
4, 3.
Look at Megan's face.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, Megan Wolf. The National Nightly
Very
shortly will be taking our daily trip down to the village for the notice board. But first, let's have a quick catch-up with Mr. Jeff DePlume.
Yeah. Right. Listen up, you lot. We need
Is it
to
gonna
get
be
a
on
few
this?
things straight.
Everything okay, Jeff?
You're not exactly fans of what we're trying to do in here. You've made that perfectly
So
clear.
what's going on, Jeff?
I'm just having a little word with the viewers, Megan. Don't worry yourself about it. Now,
Jeff,
Is this it? Yeah.
seems like you've forgotten where you are, Jeff,
Yeah, Jeff.
which is a shame. A real shame.
It's probably gonna be on this camera, but like.
Now tell me, Jeff.
We've just heard. Our man's on camera 4.
Okay.
as you know, Megan, we do our segment on the show every.
Get back to the interview, Alex.
Increasingly clear to me that nobody likes it. I don't have to. You should see some of the letters I get.
I think that was 5 seconds.
Those letters personally, Jeff.
Well, luckily, I brought them all with me here. Yeah.
You're a very small man, aren't you?
Yeah. Now, there's been a lot of misunderstandings.
Excellent work, Alex. That's the location shared. Next, you'll need to give them a go.
If it's all
The what?
Well, yes.
The
our
go?
letters are our top priority, so I think that's a good idea.
Good, I couldn't agree more. Right, yeah, this one annoyed
Why don't you
me.
just give him the go, Alan?
Dominic from Rantley wrote, Dear arrogant, talentless oaf. I think it's addressed to Tommy, but still. You're not funny, you're annoying, and I wish you'd all go and live in the sea.
Oh, God, that's really hard to hear, isn't it? What would you say to Dominic?
Yeah, I'd say that 3 Screenwriters Awards and a TV Digest nomination beg to differ.
He's brought them with him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of that lot agree with Dominic.
It does look that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, what have we got? Janet from Sanford wrote, fuck off, Jeff. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Megan's face.
This one. We've got blah, 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 Philippa's talent, yada, yada, Tommy's fine. And here we are. But you, Jeff, are the most pointless waste of airtime since the test card.
Hang on, this one, Dear Genius.
Hey!
Your show is the greatest waste of time. Never mind.
Right, fine.
Something's happened on camera 4, but like.
Right, yeah, this one. Someone's drawn a picture in what I assume is ketchup next to my home address with a message that just reads, "You're a shitty man."
Quite good. This one simply reads, I want watch this rubbish, which I assume is a spelling mistake, but either way, it's just very confusing.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah, so the strength of feeling here is
Something's happening on 4.
strong,
Yeah.
I would say, Jeff. What do you want to say to the people at home?
I would say there's an easy explanation, Megan. Yeah? As you know, we are unbelievably funny in here.
What are you doing at camera 4,
It
dude?
seems to me quite obvious that certain people upstairs are so unbelievably bad at their jobs.
Careful now.
Yeah, or, and I think this more likely, are deliberately trying to ruin the show. Alex Winston!
Yeah.
You just be glad that security won't let me up there anymore, all right?
So you're
Yeah, you can fuck off, Jeff.
Poor ratings on our long-suffering broadcast team.
I am, yeah. They're making us look like a bunch of pricks up there, Megan.
Listen, while our skilled broadcast team might have made a few errors that have led to some sloppy segments, I really don't think that's fair.
Yeah? Well, I think that's bullshit.
Oh, you want to go, bro?
Get ready. Whew, that was Jeff DePlume there, creator and writer of the notice board. Just a reminder, if you do have any comments or criticism about Jeff, you can send those in. He clearly reads them all, so please do keep them coming. But now...
Yeah, he seems stable.
Maybe for the last time, to head over to the notice board.
Oh, right, I remember this.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. I've forgotten the line. Can we go again? Okay.
I mean, that deserves a boo.
Oh, it's gone again.
What a day!
What a day! First a tea morning, and then to post this notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh, wait. Perhaps I do. Oh! For sake, Barnabas, what on earth is all this?
Boo.
Oh! Shit. Laura, I thought you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course, I keep forgetting that thanks to you and your team, violence in our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
I know.
It's time for the go code. Give us 3 boos in a row, Alex. That will start the pincer movement. You might just pull this off. Push forward! 3 boos, Alex.
I've been giving you booze all day, bro.
Now don't call me the Right Reverend Ripped for no reason.
Yes!
It's no good.
Looks like all those crucifit classes were a waste of time.
Maybe you, a young
Sounds a boo.
would be able to lift it.
2 for 2. Fantastic.
Looks like all of those lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me.
You did it, Alex. We're good to go.
To lift this.
Did someone call for the best firefighter in town?
Is that Jeff? Yeah, I'm booing his shit.
Thank you, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak old man.
It's the least I could do for my community.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferret struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked.
Oh no.
God!
Some people have no decency.
Sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry. We won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No, no. Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature, but really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer.
Oh, God.
We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fete, or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. but I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me!
Oh.
Blackout!
Ah, it's the morning of the fete now, thanks to the theatrical convention.
I sure hope everything goes to plan. Oh, look, there's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that would be too expensive to show on television.
I'm setting up the coconut shy. What are you doing, Vicar?
Well, first, I'm running the tombola, and then I'm selling forgiveness.
By the way, I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I know they're speaking English, but I am not following what the hell this thing is about. I feel like I should be high to really understand what the hell these guys are actually doing. What this skin is this little skin is about.
idea how to solve this case.
I definitely need to be high and drunk.
We'll have to cancel the fete.
Hold it right there, ferret!
Yeah.
Have you been taking
like
fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend!
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
Vicar, is this true?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend!
Admit it. You wanted
who's who in this thing? I don't even know what's going on.
Vicar, is this true?
I don't know.
I do know he's a vicar,
Talking about.
but then that's it.
Stop. We've got stock. Let's just hold it right there, ferret.
Me? Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
I definitely need to.
The vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
Vicar, is this true?
Oh my god.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like I'm stuck in a time loop. Help! Somebody let me out.
Yeah.
What?
Admit it, you wanted the fete cancelled so you could have a day off, didn't you? Vicar, is this true? Yes. I already have to work Sundays.
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
Vicar, is this true?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend!
Okay, ha ha ha. Sorry, we're just going to have to cut short the
Thank you, Megan.
final episode of the notice board. There.
What?
Yeah, yep. It's really sad, but I think it really has run its course.
I agree.
We're coming up where I sold the whole thing.
It is a shame. It's a real shame. We would like to thank you all.
Look, let's just go on with the last bit. Tommy.
Tommy's gone.
For fuck's sake, you link! Right, fine.
I already have to work Sundays.
It's something.
It's okay, just make it a one-man show from now on.
Fucking damn it!
So thanks again to the cast of the notice board. So much.
But
for...
how did you know? My first clue was the smell.
The hundreds of lessons and the laughs over the last year and a half.
I do smell of urine. Right. Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
We'll be so sad to see it go, but at least we ended on a high. It's almost time to take a break there. When we come back, we'll be seeing the opening number of a brand new musical.
You'll fucking regret this!
That's coming up after these messages.
That's the ads. Let's strike this set. Just leave it by the bins.
Sorry, did that actually just
Alex, this station is supposed to be unbiased. Your partisan behavior will end up getting us taken into public ownership even sooner. Less revolutionary zeal. Do your job.
I don't care.
Their policies are.
Dave, I don't
Well,
care.
I was wrong. And I'm here tonight to say I'm sorry. And to beg for your forgiveness.
One last push, Alex.
My parents are not
We're
rich.
closing in.
My
One of the
mother
guests
was
in the
a
last
nurse.
section is
My father
working with
was
us.
a
You'll be asked to censor on
I was
our
the first
behalf.
member of my
If you
family
do
to
it
go to
right,
university.
the final orders will be given.
But I
You'll
always
get 3 chances. get at least 2 of them right,
I always
and we're going to
envied
win this
vampires
thing.
who had so much
It's happening, Alex. Tonight
over
we
the years,
take it
my
back.
jealousy grew.
Ooh!
So when Advance came to power, I didn't think about the damage they would do. I acted selfishly. I was glad to see the rich punished. I didn't see how backwards Advance were. I didn't understand that rather than tearing down the wealth creators, we should have been helping everyone else to take a seat at their table. Under Advance, the country is poorer. It is poorer in ambition. It is poorer in aspiration. We are infantilized by Advance's naive policies. Policies born from absurd, redistributive fantasies. I have whored myself out to the media to defend the indefensible. I have betrayed my parents. I see that now.
Jesus, man,
Mom?
what's going on there?
Dad, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Our only hope, the only hope, now lies with Disrupt.
Five, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking Disrupt attack. But
Patrick Bannon's
first,
gonna be back.
I'm delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast in a moment, but first, let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
The Novaries.
Hello? Doctor?
This is weird, dude.
Thank you for letting me know.
I definitely should have taken some alcohol before recording this.
Loving wife, and my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him something that is absolutely chilling. We share coffee in the morning, and we make love every day. We take
What?
time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs. We do charitable deeds. But the flowers of our happy life are now beset by weeds.
I'm home.
Oh, darling John.
Oh, dearest John.
There's something very wrong.
I still don't know how to do this.
Just had a conversation with our doctor, David Wants, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scans revealed a lump.
You poor unlucky chump. Is it cancer?
Worse, oh, John. We're having a baby.
How can this be?
Oh, woe is me.
Why has this happened to me? I always wear 2 condoms for the maximum of
Safety in our tiny flat. We built a peaceful habitat. Now our lives are put having a baby.
No, I'm leaving that in.
Now
I'm not censoring that.
any wine at book club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in Territory 3. No more waking up at 10:30. In fact, you're never going to get a good night's sleep again. No more snap decisions to go on to a club. You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub. Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian chums?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's wrong. We're our top priority. I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife. We got a childless life. No one wails and no one woes. No one draws things on the walls.
A happy husband.
A wonderful wife. We got a childless life. We're having a baby. We're having a baby.
I feel like I want to shoot myself.
No more weekends by the coast. Now your kid is uppermost. It's more than a passing craze to have childless days. We're having a baby and drink thrown everywhere. Death trap toys at the top of the stairs. Every parent prays to have childless babies. We're having a baby. No more stars and no more weeds.
If I ever do another playthrough of this, please remind me, people. Be drunk and high. I think I need that. I think everyone needs that. Reminder. Everyone just remind me. And remind yourselves. It will be an experience like any other, no other. No, hang on.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was
The Novaries there, treating us to their opening number from Elegy for a Childless Life, which is currently the hottest ticket in the capital theatre district, and will be touring the territories later this year. Right then, come on you lot, come on down, let's go, don't be shy. Hello.
So, who's the advanced guest that I need to focus
It's an
on?
honour to be here. Oh, really? Are you fans of the show? Yeah, there used to be. Well,
Oh,
let's get stuck
I think it's
in.
her.
You're
She seems
amazing
nervous.
musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every single night,
With matinees on Wednesday and Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude of me. I've not introduced any of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Jim Blunt. Pleasure to be here.
Jennifer Borum Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Sapley. Used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest.
That's incredible. And you were all friends previously. I mean, what a coincidence, right? With your names beginning with a J.
Oh my goodness, guys! Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed that?
Because you haven't typed them out 1,000 times, maybe?
You knew? Why didn't you say anything?
I thought we all knew. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it.
And I believe as well as being friends, you're also couples, you know, in real life as well as in the show.
Well, not exactly.
No. I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Well, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack, Jen Janet, Jill Jen, Janet Jill.
Huh.
John.
Well, my character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much toing and froing.
I share Megan's sentiment.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we'd just use our own names, which is less truthful.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Nimda Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone high up, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital.
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only 19. I'm the youngest.
You really
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Repeat that.
I had to give up my job as a mortuary technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
I love that job.
It's been a very turbulent time.
So peaceful, no singing.
This piece.
Right.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children. And why you shouldn't have them.
In a way, I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem.
Terrible problem.
having children.
You understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
Wow, this isn't about me. Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted, passed out on the couch by 20 to 9, for God's sake.
You're very chatty tonight, dear.
Usually I'm the chatty one, because...
You're the youngest, we know. It's not a badge of honour, Janet.
Janet, please, Jennifer.
Oh, well said, John.
Thanks, Jack. Got you back.
So, could you just tell us, what is the play about? What happens in
Yes,
it?
well,
Go ahead.
it's a tragedy, obviously. Jennifer, myself, and John have their child, and then the story charts the downfall of their hopes and dreams.
And there's lots of singing.
And dancing.
A lot.
My character works at a menu centre for a distribution unit. Eagle-eyed, she sees her friend's rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22, she decides to take drastic action. I can't really say more, though. I probably said too much already.
Yes. Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to see it.
Which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told that a life without children is somehow incomplete, that children are a blessing. Well, I've done the research, and they're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to have the option of a happy, child-free life without stigma. You know, when I was 14, before I had come out, I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs. She was an experiment, I guess, you know, a chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The noble affair. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from the scene of tonight's horrific events. Patrick, are you okay?
Thank you, Megan. This is Patrick Bannon reporting from the scene of tonight's devastating and symbolic attack tonight this evening. An attack which I myself have been found myself caught up in. I'm still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan. So I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
I couldn't leave, not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same. I don't deserve praise for being human.
Yes, no accolades here. Or Palisades. Or lemonade. Right.
What?
So, is the situation... Now, are we safe?
Yes, the security services performed their duties without hesitation, and I would like to assure the public that although there have been some injuries, there were no civilian deaths here this evening.
That's good news about the Sorry, did you say no deaths?
That's right. No civilian deaths. Just the 4 disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement, who were, as always, so cohesive. If I may, I have a message for your viewers.
Of course, the camera... There's the speak there, on the camera there.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war. Disrupt have had their moment, but, as the dear departed Peter Clement once famously said, it ends today.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for those strong words of strength. Back to
Well,
the
something's
studio.
happening in the background.
Now, in the studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line of tonight's horrifying bombing. Maybe you need to get to...
Can you get this reported to a hospital, please?
Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's National Nightly News. But before we go, tonight's National Nightly News.
Victory is in sight, my friends. You have mobilized. You have come together. From our agents at the television networks risking arrest and getting those words to you, to the many hundreds and thousands gathering to invade team headquarters. As I speak, we are turning the tide, and it is time for change. Tonight we topple their regime, and we also silence their mouthpiece, Channel 1. Time to
Have
wait.
lured Disrupt out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming force they would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and, well, it's pretty scary out there tonight. So stay at home and stay with Channel 1.
because the team
Forgot
has assured
about the white line.
that the turbulence will soon be over and we can once again focus our minds on building the new future with equality, fairness, and resources for all. My name is Megan Wolf.
Whoa.
Let's make tomorrow better.
Alex, tonight is the beginning of the fall of advance.
Hope so, because literally lose my life for you guys.
Target's reached, sir. Permission to detonate. Permission granted, old friend. We are going to detonate.
Where are you guys detonating? Oh, the antenna. I thought you guys were belonging to the building. I was like, I'm in it, so yeah. I mean, you really didn't plan for that? Come on, Alan. Alright. Continue. It's like that to be. Manageable depth. Alright. So, I'm gonna stop it here, guys. Let's see what happens next. Are we gonna continue? Are we gonna get shot? Who knows? Anyways, hang on. Let's continue, actually. Do we actually have a... Is this actual ending, or...? Yeah, we definitely seriously did the hell out of that. Continue. If we do end up in another broadcast, then I'll stop. Day 9:13. An important review. You are at work a little early despite the stressful journey in. You still aren't quite sure at everything that happened, though if the swarm of CCOs all over the building isn't anything to go by, this isn't just a Channel 1 matter. This is confirmed when you're informed you the Bozeman immediately and you're escorted to his office. You sit nervously outside waiting for your boss. 2 minutes later, Bossman arrives as heveled and with a stern-looking CCO on top. Yes, Winston. Good. The specialist Abels should be observing this interview. Please come inside and take a seat. The ruddy-faced man bustles into his office and leaves the door open for you to follow. The few times you've been here before, it was immaculate, with everything in its proper place. Not so today. It must be serious for Bozeman to be this flustered. So, Alex, do you know why you're here today? Bozeman's eyes sharp, and his gaze fixed on your face from across the desk. Abels is standing right behind you out of sight, but it's definitely not out of your mind. What happened last night was nothing short of a culmination of a heinous outrageous campaign of terror that Disrupt had been reaping on this nation and its territories. Bozeman should at a glance down to your left, where a CCO observer is standing. And it is, of course, RD Roots Rot, where we find it to prevent anything last night from happening again. I've been asked by advance to perform interviews with all staff members involved, usually summoning a personal review of your performance both during the incident in question and throughout your time here. This can only end well. His expression remains stern. Just tell the truth, Winston, and this will all be over soon. Arranging some papers, Bozeman clears the store and begins. Obviously, a lot happened last night, and I have a number of interviews to conduct today, so I'd rather not waste any time. Be brief, concise, and clearing your answers. So let's start at the beginning of the broadcast. Your work through. After the attack of the memorial, you seem to have portrayed the terrorists in Quinpetic's spite. Why? That shit always happening. The news, that's our job, right? I see, so you're saying you couldn't be helped and you had to show the aftermath as you did. I'll make sure to make a note of that. Funny how unauthorized footage always seems to find its way into your broadcast. Bozeman scribbles some notes down, the noise of his pen scratching into the notepad punctuated only by the constant tick-tock when it's on 8 o'clock. Hopefully you'll just wonder. Reviewing the broadcast, we noticed something a little odd about a particular camera choice. It was while everyone else is talking. Well, where did I put it? Ah, yes, here. Do you recognize this? With a little flourish, Bozeman produces the leaflet from a notice board and places it on your desk from the leaflet. I honestly don't know. It was there. Yeah. So you're saying the blame lies entirely with the crew on set. There's no way you could have possibly used your own judgment to determine it was unsuitable. You hear a disappointment grunt from the CCO behind you. Typical, Winston. We shall see. Not exactly subtle there. There was one thing we noted during the finale of the notice board. Bozeman picks up some notes on the side of the desk. He's been playing odd choice of sound effects relatively early on, and now this was expected last, but for all three, he chose to play loose. Why'd you do that? Yeah. Yes, well, choice is given to those who show who they can employ such indicator with judgment. And maybe we need to review this policy, or at least who qualifies for it. You can see Bozeman is frowning as he adds to his notes. It might have been nice to have him on your side. How many other people would you be interviewing today? At this point, Bozeman took out a pair of glasses and placed them somewhat delicately on the end of his nose. Then portly man leaned forward to examine his nose in detail. Now, obviously, we expect the odd bit of interference here and there, and unavoidable, however. He paused, turning the page to an agonizing pace. Interference is not the same as a terrorist propaganda. Would you care to explain how quite so much of their messaging found its way to our airways? Last update. The machine's been out of date for years, yeah. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Special Able is visibly more attentive, awaiting your boss's response. Well, it's certainly true that accidents do happen. And it's an amazing coincidence how often they seem to happen when you're around. Bozeman smiles anything but warm, and Abel's glance towards you with a stare that can only describe glacial. You offer a strange smile back. A loud creak breaks the growing silence as Bozeman leans into his chair. Tape. That poor Miss Brightman. Why did you play it? Help me understand. Why play that tape? As you meet his gaze, you're almost surprised to see an earnest concern in the old man's eyes. It seemed like news. Isn't that what we do? Show news. He watches Bozeman slowly cleans his glasses before answering. Well, at the end of the day, you chose to do it, Alex. I know what I'd have done in your shoes. After all, you have a habit of playing tapes you shouldn't, don't you? He clears his throat and leans forward again, staring at you for a moment before continuing. That is, however, all I had for you. Thank God it's over. I think that's all the information we need now for Winston. Bozeman looks questioningly at the CCO, but by the time you turn around, the moment has passed. Best you just go home now. There's no work until we get a new satellite tower up. But of course, don't leave town. I may have more questions for you following the other interviews. As you leave, you see open hostility in Special Able's eyes. Well, you knew there'd be consequences. Well, at least they didn't get us. So, you know. $9.89. Wow. And message delivered. The newspaper falls to the floor, slipping away from your numb hands. The headline whirling around and around right here. This can't be true. How could this be true? Has it really been 2 months since that day? You find yourself back there, rushing back to home after a particularly long, stressful day at work. You're already late, but if you keep up to this speed limit, there's no way you're going to hear the end of it. You could have probably shaved 10 minutes or so of the journey if you wanted. Go on it. Let's do it. It seems everything is against you this evening. You have to stop at every traffic light, every stop sign, every junction between you and your destination. You're well over 45 minutes late by the time you finally pull up to the house and only see a betterment vehicle parked outside, lights still flashing. What's this about? The CCOs are leading someone from your house to the van, your son's voice calling for you. Then doors shut and it's driving away, the spinning lights blinding you as your vision starts to swim. Charlie. And now you're in the break room. The people at work have started avoiding you. Some of the show's crew started giving you funny looks. Bozeman has ever been micromanaging you less than usual. It's just a misunderstanding. It'll all be over soon. Charlie had never cared about advance. He was still just a kid in many ways. So young and naive, never violent. Certainly he wouldn't have. He and Sam had both gone to see him at the Betterment Center last week, as soon as he had been able. He hadn't been happy, but it wasn't like an old prison. The environment was safe and supportive in its own way. He hadn't suggested he'd been having problems. It just couldn't have happened. That headline, 5 simple words in bold black type, disrupt terrorist dies in Betterment. Winston was particularly violent, attacking a Betterment mentor. Died in the infirmary after failed attempts of resuscitation. An eternal question left unanswered. Was it his fault or yours? Oh man. Jesus! It's a lot of days. Back in for some. It's your anniversary. A week away could have been just what the doctor ordered for you in Siam. But after speaking to travel agents, there's just no way you can afford it. Aww. Yeah, because our belt sucks! Still, just because you can't have a holiday doesn't mean you can't make tonight special. You have the day off today, so you can try and make a nice romantic meal for him this evening. Though they did expressly tell you not to bother this morning. You think a cheap last-minute gesture won't change. I think their exact words. It'd be nice to have a lovely evening together. You get to work, turning the house into a perfect romantic setting for tonight. Everything's going according to plan. Sam's gonna love it. Impatiently, you wait for them to arrive. You even had a time to single-handedly clean the entire house, floor to ceiling. It took hours, but Sam will appreciate it, that's all that matters. Your keys in the lock, and put final touches into place. As Sam steps into the hallway, you're waiting in the doorway in the kitchen dressed to the nines, acting nonchalant as possible. Alex, what's all this? Oh my god, did you clean? And what's that smell? They give you a quick kiss as they step into the pass in the kitchen where a banquet is laid out, candles lit. Oh my god, Alex. Happy anniversary, Sam. Sam turns to you, smiling with tears in their eyes. Alex, it's perfect. You give Sam a kiss before pulling out the chair. The house never used to be this quiet. It's only since Sam interrupts your thoughts, bringing you back to the present. You really didn't have to do this, Alex. I know. I wanted to. I love you, Sam. I love you too. They breathe, admiring the panoply of food and you prepare for them. Now, where on earth do I begin? They laugh as you pour the first glass of champagne of the evening. It's not the last. At least you still got each other. Wow. Time has moved really, really forward. Job down. That doesn't sound good. Everything's ready. You and Sam has been trying to watch The Bullet Man for years, but you missed it in the cinemas and never seemed to be in stock when you want to pick up for VHS. Now you're just waiting for them to get home so you can start. You hear the front door open as you put a bowl of popcorn on this half table. We're all ready to go. Get your butt in here. Sam comes in with a vacant stare, ignoring both Phil and Snacks as they sit down next to you. You actually have to nudge them to break their stupor. Stan, what is it? I just been let go from work. Oh, that's why. Sam is just staring into space. Apparently there just isn't a need for 2 nursery teachers anymore. Not enough children, so they can't justify extras. Honey, I'm so sorry. It'll be okay. You'll find another place. No, you don't get it. There just isn't any demand for younger year teachers anymore. Not just here, anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. What we're going to do. You pull Sam into a hug. I know things are tough, but we'll think of something. How, Alex? We're barely scraping by as it is, and now... Sam starts to sob. We're gonna have to sell the house. I can't see any other option. We've just got too many debts to pay. If that's what we have to do, fine. There's only 2 of us living here together now anyways. I suppose you're right. Still, I hate the idea of losing this place. Think of everything that's happened here, Alex. They fall silent, thinking. Eventually, you start to film, but neither of your hearts are in it. Too busy thinking about the future. Still, a house isn't everything. It's the people who make it a home. Homeless are the hardest, after all. Oh man, we lost our house. Shit, now I feel bad, man. Maybe if I didn't suck at the game so much. I wonder if story mode, like, lets you keep your house. Because it's easier, or is it just... Yeah. Alright, I think this is another broadcast. If so... I will have to stop it. The sterility. 3 years since the uprising. Alright. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop it here. Yeah, oh man, I can't wait till to see how this ends. I guess picking the sides of Disrupt was not very beneficial in the end, but oh well. We're trying to fight for freedom, huh? Anyways, guys, thank you much for watching. I'll see you guys next one.